Hey everybody, today we are going to just talk about a game. Actually, I might do some gameplay at the very end, but as you may have noticed, I have very much started another game and quite enjoy how this is coming out. This is, of course, Hinatosho 46 and the mysterious library, Fushigi na Tosho Shitsu. And like I said, this is basically a tower defense game. You collect your members that have different jobs. They have different attacks, whether it be ranged, melee, or defense style. And, you use a combination of members to fight the level, beat a boss, and collect items. So today I'm just going to go over my teams that I have right now, what I use on the different missions, basically. Of course, each event generally has a leading color, and of course you're going to pick the color that's best against it. There's only 3 elements in this game: fire, water, and wood. And actually, I don't even know if it's fire, water, and wood. It's just red, blue, and green. But essentially that means you just need 3 sets of good teams. Now, of course, some of the missions mix colors, so you might want to mix them up too. But here is my blue team that I use right now. One of the stronger, I think, offensive ranged types are these heavy gunners. And luckily I was able to get Katoshi here in the blue color here. And you can see that the cost is definitely on the high side. 300 without any modifiers is pretty high in this game. So it does cost quite a lot to bring in a heavy gunner, but on the other hand, the amount of attack they have, 18,000, is very, very, very high. And their HP isn't too bad at 100k, but this one here, the time it takes to push them out, 38 seconds, that's also on the long side. So it's definitely well balanced so that you can't really spam out these heavy hitters, but the amount of damage that these guys can produce is quite nice. And they also have some special skills to go along them to give them extra bonus. So this first skill basically makes them a little bit faster. They are still woefully slow though. Skill number 2 is increases the accuracy of those hits by 3%. And the third skill here gives them a shortened time before you can use their special ability, which are called Biblia arts in this game. Think of them as strike shots in Monster Strike. That's the equivalent of that. And then you get some stat info here, but here's one thing that I really do think is missing in this game is just pure numbers, right? Like, it is very hard to compare these different characters and their abilities because there are no real strong numbers to go with it, right? I really don't know what 3% increase means in the big terms of things, right? Because I don't know how much that is compared to anybody else, right? We get these 5 arrows, but 3% of 5 arrows, okay, how much is in a single arrow, right? Do they all group up into the same thing? But I mean, you can tell, right? Like, the third parameter here saying that they are very slow is obvious. You can see them move. They are slow as heck. But likewise, the attack, oh yeah, you can see the damage output for sure. Second one here is knockback, a defense, I think. No, say no. So the amount of knockback they can do. This side is the defense against being knocked back. The first one on the top right here is basically saying their attack speed. So they don't attack very fast either. Of course, it's a bazooka, right? You're not going to expect it to attack very fast. And the last parameter here is avoidance defense, I guess. How much they can, avoid attacks. You can always get a nice zoomed in version of the cards too. And I mean, the interesting thing is we know that all of these costumes are CG imposed, so some of the members definitely look a little bit off, but it's still awesome. Currently, of course, there's an event going on, so I've got Kosakana here in her special school outfit, Kenshi, so sword fighter, right? So we got a outfits fighter, sword fighter. But of course, the nice thing is they'll have a nice serious pose from level 1 to of their awakenings. I'll go into that later. But once you get into level 3, they get that nice smiley look on them. So the sword fighter here, this class, you can see 250 cost. That's actually really, that's in the middle of things. Nothing too bad here. The attack is nice at 14k, HP at 91k, and the time to release at 33 seconds. So, alright. And of course the Biblia art here, right? Like the strike shot equivalents. This one is a buff. She gives buffs to the team, which is always nice to see. It reduces the chance of being knocked back, right? Increases that knockback defense, as well as reducing poison damage. Now, the poison damage honestly doesn't do that much. At least I don't think I notice it, but certainly could come in handy later in the game. And as with event drops from the gacha, not drops, events cards from the gacha, you get a special skill that gives you additional points while running the event. You also get special damage, 50% bonus to the boss in the event. You also get some bonus here, right? Like here's the poison resist. You've got 5% resistance against fire types, or I guess red type, and 2% increase in avoiding attacks. So yeah, I mean it's nice, and you can see overall the parameters are nice and high. So it's always good to see so a all pretty good all arounder, and you get bonus. And here's what I'm talking about, where like you get the serious face up until that last one. I think Katoshi I've only gotten to level 2. I mean, I like this look a lot, but I am kind of sad that I didn't get any of the 3rd generation members. That was their debut in this game. But I mean, it's fine. Kosakana and Katoshi are really nice. The last to round up the blue team is my Mipang Striker here. And Strikers, I do believe, are the best melee type characters. You can see that their cost is really low, and that their speed to come out is pretty low there, right? It's in the low 30s, right? The other was like 32, 33, a little bit higher. So this is nice. Of course, the HP is a little bit on the low side, and of course there is a downside that they actually need to get to the enemy directly to do the attacks. But again, the low cost does help make that go by and be able to churn them out pretty fast overall. And they have a nice Biblia arts to stun the enemy monsters. So the stun in this game is quite annoying and long. So it's nice. And her first skill right away is to increase the chance of being stunned, increase your avoidance of attacks, and then increased speed. And so the range of course is very low, which is expected, some melee type. But you can see how the attack speed is high. Got some good avoidance levels. Knockback is high, and resisting it is also high. So quite a solid get for sure. And I have a 3-star Osushi here, and the soldier card. I don't know, the amount of range you get with this the gun attack here of these soldier types, I think is really nice. And I do believe it pierces a little bit too, so it's nice. And her Biblia arts is to just do 7 rounds in a row, which really does do a good amount of damage. So I quite enjoy this 3-star card here. So I only have 4 blue 5 stars. So 4 stars. 4 stars are the highest. So that's where I stand with that. Now if we go to my green team, we'll start with Kage here. Kage was a event drop monster. Sorry, I'm doing it again. A drop card. And the Paladin here, Seikishi, the time to refresh is really low, 28 seconds. That is nice to see, and the cost is low. Now this is a little bit biased because I was able to get into the top 100 of the event for the Saito Kyoko's lane, and that did allow you to fully awaken Kage here. She was a reward card as well. So being able to, and if you have dupes, you basically reduce the cost and the time. So what? I reduced it by 4 seconds. So this is huge. Of course, she is a special type because it's an event drop, but getting that slow attack as well as increasing damage, very 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 nice. And easier to knock back and have knockback defense is definitely an overall great card to have. And I'm just gonna skip over to Otake here because Otake is basically the same Seikishi, but this is the gacha version of it. You can see again, right? Like I don't have any of that bonus with the time reduction, but it is nice to have a combo. I will probably replace Otake if I can get a better melee card if it comes out in the future. But there's no difference here with the striker. I have the green version here in Kosakana, and actually a +1 because I actually got a dupe of her on the gacha. Again, nice quick output that does a lot of direct damage. Now here's probably the strongest card in the game, the Barrier Soldier. I mean, this is a tower defense game, so it shouldn't be surprising that a card that is focused on tanking damage, being able to keep all of your other characters behind her alive, is going to be very very strong. And I do believe if you want to complete all of the books, which I have, these Barrier Soldiers are invaluable. Look for them in your friends list. Gacha for them. I would even prioritize them in the Encore gacha if you haven't done that already. But the 175k of HP here is very very strong and quite important. I would highly recommend maxing these guys out as soon as possible. And you can see last here is my Oshimen Saito Kyoko. Finally was able to get her through one of those free gachas. Now sorcerers I think are okay. They have decent damage, and you can see that the cost isn't too high, but of course the HP is pretty low. Now they do have the advantage of being a ranged attacker, so they're obviously not in the line of duty front line, and I think their attack rate is pretty high too. Yeah. But I don't know, there's something about, I don't know, you compare maybe it's just a visual thing, right? Like because you have the rocket launcher going, where this is just like that colored blast and go poof, and see what happens there. But actually I haven't maxed her out yet because I am intending to do my Encore gacha, which I think I will live stream once all of the free temples are over. I do intend to keep pulling until I get the Kyonko heavy gunner, which actually you can see right here. This is what I want. So I will be pulling until I get that, I think. But I mean, maybe I just need to play around with it more, honestly, right? Like I don't have this to increase I actually don't know what that looks like, an accuracy thing, but it says Biblia Arts. So but this one, you get extra damage, 6% as a wood type. You increase your accuracy rate by 3%. So anyways, she looks really awesome in this outfit anyway. No bias, by the way, but it's very nice. And you can see the little chibi here too, which is cute. And I'm not sure why they have this, but you can see their weapon separately, but it's not like something you can change or use. But you can see how the card progresses there. So that's my wood team, and I actually do have one more 6-star, and that is actually another where are you, Mei here, another Seikishi. I was able to complete the Ame-chan group here, which I mean that looks really awesome, but unfortunately there's really no need for 3 in a team, so Mei's got the bench there, unfortunately. And last but not least, my fire team here. Of course, one of my first cards in the game was Kosakana here, with the Barrier Soldier. Again, starting with the Barrier Soldier I think is super key to this game. If you want to reset Marathon, reset marathon for a barrier soldier. Um, it's just super strong, so highly recommend that. We have Osushi here, and this is another one of those event cards. It was a Calvary. You can't see the horse here, but she is riding one in the game. Japanese style, very nice and quite strong, honestly, in my opinion. You see the HP is high. The cost is 250, right? -10 is a bonus because I did actually pull a dupe of her. And the replay rate, being able to send out another one 33 seconds, so that's okay. But having that much the HP is really nice, and you can see that I've really souped up on her Biblia Arts level. It goes all the way up to level 10. I am finally up to level 9, which it is insane the ingredients you need to increase these Biblia Arts. I don't know what they're thinking, but again, I don't know how much I'm getting a benefit out of that because there's no percentage, no numbers, no details of what exactly has changed. Other than we know that it decreases the chance of being stunned and increases the attack of everybody around her, which is good. Unfortunately, that range of the Biblia Arts isn't that high for comparing to the the outfit swords people, right? Like Kosakana and Katoshi that I had. That range is huge. This one is not as big, but being able to increase the rate or decrease the rate of being stunned by a little bit, increasing knockback with your normal attacks, and then just decreasing the amount of time for your Biblia Arts. Not bad. Again, it is a defense type, so she's not going to be doing crazy damage, but it's okay. And you can see I have two strikers here, both Watanabe Miho and Mei here in the red, +1 for her as well. But I have been moved, and again I have the red version of the striker here, or sorry, soldier, for another ranged bullet attack, which I really do like. And so there are there's plenty of other abilities. I think, well, not plenty. This game has just started, so there's not too many additional ones you can use. But there are level, tier 3 cards that you have the opportunity to use. You have the Sorcerer here, or Witch, I think. Yeah, Witch. You can just think of that as just a one tier down of the Sorcerer 4 stars. You also have Knights, or Fighters. And these are just just your standard sword melee attacks. Again, it's not that bad to have a 3-star in your team. I feel like you may want to have a set of characters that you want to be able to churn out pretty quickly, because if you have all of the heavy hitters, you could be without any characters on the screen, and they'll be going for your tower, which is no good. You can also see that they have a lower tier barrier soldier here with the knight. Kyonko looking good, of course. And was there anything else? Oh yeah, and of course these cards, the ones with this nice like sky background, the Hinata fighters, you can always get this from just the map, character maps. Each character allows you, member allows you to unlock certain things, abilities that will not only increase maybe your attack, but of course increase a whole bunch. Actually, I shouldn't pick one that I've like unlocked everything on. And so, right, like you can get like additional stories. Here's the card that you can unlock. You just go to level 15 and you will be able to unlock it. You can get some diamonds, increase the power of your special attacks, just a whole bunch of items. Increase your tower defense, its attack, its HP, and the unfortunate thing is that these ingredients that you need, like these memos. These are really, really hard to come by. You know, it is very hard to get them. You have to actively be farming them. When you go through the events, like the first set of rewards give you like 5 at a time or 10 at a time, which is nice. But they run out really quickly because you need, like, once you get to, well, obviously the top is right, but like 50, it's like 16 at a time. And that's just, every one of these just costs so much. And you're just not getting a solid income of that. At best, you're getting one when you run a quest, and even that not a guarantee, right? So it's tough, but anyways, that's very important because it increases your biblia. Let's see, it increases your biblio rank here on the bottom right, and this is important because it gives you a score bonus at the end. Each level gives you a 1% bonus at the end of the game, which is super important. And you can always set your Oshimen here, of course Saito Kyoko, and then your best card and your best charm that you would like your friends to use. And of course, you know, with my Osushi here, who's at Biblia Arts 9, which at best you're going to have one character that has that ability. And if you haven't been diligently getting all the items and luck isn't on your side that the items these cards need lines up with what you farmed, it is really hard to get there. And of course you get a charm, which also gives you a boost. So I've been talking a lot already, so you know, let's just do a quest real quick. We're just gonna do one of the event quests. You can see that the event's running along. I am chasing for 100th place right now, so I will be spending some time getting that done. Again, you pick a member that you want to race against others with. You're gonna be fighting with only those people in your lane. I, of course, am not even trying for anything high, but we'll go here. There's 3 difficulties in the quest. You got normal, hard, very hard. The stamina here is sunny. That's the currency in this game. You also have an idea of how difficult it is. It's an arbitrary number. 18 really doesn't mean anything. But you can also see your score rank here. If you get an S rank, normally on normal quests, you can skip using special items, but since it's an event quest, you cannot skip. And then you can see what kind of items will drop. You also get some special drops on first clear and if you S rank the stage. You also have an idea of the boss and enemies that are coming. They all have types, and certain classes are strong against certain types. But since of course this is a fire quest, we're gonna go with my water set. Of course, makes sense with the event members, which does give a 50% boost in the score at the end of the game. There are also special charms, which gives you some percentage boost at the game. There are special member cards, which are from the gacha only, which will give you a 20% boost, and a special event drop you can get from exchanging, which gives you a 10% boost each. So that's 40, 70, 170% bonus when playing. You can always pick a friend unit, and this is important. When you pick a friend unit, their bonus points do not get added. Only your event bonuses are calculated in terms of the score at the end. So you're going to spend the stamina here and then go into this haunted book to go on. I, of course, am farming on this EX stage, and I'm actually going to turn down the speed. Usually I play in double speed because I don't really care, but you can see on the bottom left that there's this step, and basically this increases the rate at which you get energy. You need to spend energy to be able to summon your members into the game, and their cost is of course on the top in red here. Now of course I opted to skip on a barrier soldier, which I would normally use as my main that's my main template for everything, right? You have barrier soldier first, and then you have everybody else with the ranged attack. For example, I have Osushi here, which would be able to attack from afar. Add another melee type, right? The strikers, like, again, I think that's one of my favorite types here. And then wait until I have enough energy to summon my heavy gunner here, Katoshi. And then we're back to increasing, you know, the rate so that when I want to summon extra members, it'll come at a faster rate. We've got the special attack here. You can think of this as like, what, a super strike shot. So here's the boss, and then I'm gonna activate this. This one increases the attack rate and damage of all the members. I'll activate the Biblia Arts. And then you can see, right, the HP here just starts to decrease. And then I'm just going to spam all the mob members. And then just keep hitting this button on the bottom right. So that when somebody's Biblia Art is active, I can just use it right away. And of course, it's hard to see, but you can see under the characters, they have a little pie, you know, filling pie chart there. Once that fills up, then you can use your Biblia Arts and do damage. And that's about it. You just do that, repeat. You know, this event is actually on the easier side. Again, like I said, normally I use a barrier soldier to tank all that, but the amount of damage that they give in this quest is just not that bad. So I opted for attack to speed up through the process, and I am actually guaranteed an S rank in this event. And you get some scores based on certain ability, certain things that happen in the game. How fast you clear the stage is the biggest, you know, factor. You get your seconds multiplied by 1,000 is your score, base score, and then you get bonuses based on how much HP was left on your tower. Again, it increases the importance of increasing your HP through that member map, because the more HP it has, the higher percentage is going to be left, even with the same amount of damage that you had before. The next one shows how many times you use that special attack, right? That green pen attack you saw where it's signed. The amount of units that you use, you want to use all of your units if possible to maximize this count. This next one here that I got 8 of increases based on the number of Biblia Arts that you used in the game. So how many times you press that yellow button. You do get rewarded for using that over and over. And this one, it also gives you a points based on how many times you've upgraded your step. Once you get to level 8, you are hitting that 2,500 point mark, which is great. And of course, if you clear without continuing, you get 200,000 points. Based on your score, you'll get a rank, which also gives you additional rewards. You can also see how your team did in terms of attack, right? Unsurprisingly, my heavy gunner Katoshi here did the bulk of the damage, so she's ranked there. And here is how much damage was tanked by the different members. Now, of course, if I had a barrier soldier, she would definitely be here, no problem. But since this was, unsurprisingly, the melee character up in front, Mipan is there on top. And so once you clear, you get experience points, you'll get those drop rewards, and you'll get some coins for your troubles. And since it's an event quest, you're collecting event points here. Got 1,900 of them in a single run, which is really great. And of course, you will be getting additional rewards every time you hit a milestone. And then once you have enough of these event points, you can exchange them for goods. You know, a lot of you know, Evo materials essentially, and yeah, you just rinse and repeat until you're out of stamina. Now, of course, this game is really low on stamina. You saw that highest level event quest takes 15 Sunny to run, and I only have 53 max even at rank 56. Now, this game tops off at rank 80, so I'm already halfway there. Actually, I don't know if it's a logarithmic thing with the XP or anything, but there are plenty of people who have already maxed out their rank. You know, I think on the first week of the game already. We'll see how they move on from here. But anyways, this game is a lot of fun. There's a lot of things to do. It's a little bit frustrating. There's a lot of complaints I have. Maybe I'll do another video about that later. But you know, overall, it's a very solid game. And of course, with the you know, ability to see my favorite members in this game, it is a lot of fun. I haven't spent any money on this game quite yet. I'm not sure if I want to. They have a healthy cycle of diamonds being given out. However, I do know that now that I've finished all of the main story quests, I don't really have a source of diamonds anymore besides events. So I am a little bit worried how that's going to go. But, you know, like I said in the middle of the game, there is this Encore Gacha which allows you to pull until you get the 4-star you want. I said I'm going to probably look for that Kyonko Heavy Gunner. But I am waiting because there are daily free temples for 10 days. I think we're already halfway through that. And I don't want to pick that an event and get a dupe of that. Now, of course, dupes are fine because you can reduce the speed and cost. But it's better to get unique ones, I think. So I am going to be a little bit patient on that. So we'll see how that goes. This game does feature a rough 5% rate, but at the start of this game, it was actually 2.5%, which is really insane. Anyways, that's a good 30 minutes of talking about this game. If you like what you saw or you want to know about more things, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. But yeah, I know I did see one person comment earlier that, you know, they wanted to see more, so I am obliging. If you are, of course, one of my followers who watch Monster Strike mainly, don't worry. Most things going forward are going to be gacha focused for this game. Maybe the occasional talk here and there, but don't think too much. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. Comment below if you have any questions that you would like me to answer. Be more than happy to do that for you. And until next time, bye bye.